Welcome back. This is Todd Klinger. I'm here to teach you about velocity banking, and specifically, I want to teach you how to rapidly pay off debt. Now, this is the first video in a series that's going to outline the priorities or the specific step-by-step process of putting into practice and executing the velocity banking strategy. And my friends, if you can grasp these fundamentals, and if you can grasp these concepts and strategically and systematically implement them, which I'm here to help you do, you really can't go wrong. You really can't lose. The only real X factor in this is your ability to stay disciplined and follow through. So with that said, what is your first priority? Your first priority in velocity banking is this: you have got to know your numbers. Priority number one, know your numbers. If we work together and you go beyond these video resources that I'm putting out, and you want some more one-on-one coaching, or you sign up for a class, the very first thing I'm going to instruct you to do, or the first question I will ask, are what are your numbers? And I'll lay out the categories of numbers we're talking about here in a second, but until you know your numbers, you can't proceed with an effective strategy. I mean, of course, I care about the backstory and I genuinely want to help you, but I have no authority to help you, and you have no path forward until you know the financial numbers in your personal financial life. That's Business 101. You got to know your numbers. And the first number you got to know, it's your income. Money coming into your account. Whether that's a W-2 job, whether you get paid with commission checks, separate distributions on interest earnings, any and all money flowing into your account, that is income. And I need to know each month, what is your income? Second number I need to know, expenses. I keep saying I need to know, you need to know. The expenses that you have. Any and all money leaving your account is an expense. That could be tuition, that could be mortgage, a car payment. Any dollar that leaves your possession is an expense. Even if it's an annual expense like taxes, just reflect it in a monthly amount. Last number I need to know is cash flow. How do we calculate cash flow? Really simple. Income minus expenses, the difference, what you're left with, that is your cash flow. Those are the numbers that you need to know in order to execute velocity banking. Now, the last thing we'll talk about here is, what access do you have to debt? This isn't necessarily a number, but I need to know the access that you have to debt. Not your current debts that are in place, but access to a revolving line of credit or debt with a revolving option. Meaning you don't actually owe anything until you tap into that line of credit or you tap in to that revolving debt tool. Now, I'll teach you more about that later. That will be in a video to come. I personally use a home equity line of credit as my debt weapon of choice, but there's lots of options out there that I can teach you about. But the reason we use a debt weapon is this revolving line of credit allows us to pay off debt in the most efficient way possible. Now, those are the steps. It's pretty simple. I'm going to keep throwing out more content so that you can continue to learn and absorb this information at your own pace. But hopefully, this is going to fast track your way to debt-free living. And my friends, it all starts with knowing your numbers.